Okay, so now that we've talked about direct proportion, we can move on to indirect proportion. So remember that when we talk about direct and indirect proportion, if I have y is inversely proportional to x squared, that means that I can write a statement that looks like this. Y proportional to 1 over x squared. Therefore, y equals k over x squared. And when you do that, that's actually one of your marks, especially if we're talking about those long answer questions. So get into the habit of writing those out so that you can get those marks. And even if that's not exactly how they're going to mark it when they come to exams, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So when we look at this, we can again use our values to find our k value. So when y is 12, k over 6 squared. So 12 equals k over 36. And I multiply both sides by 36, cancel out the denominator. So I get k equals a value of, sorry, I've done these all over the place, 432. Then I want to find y when x is 10, so y equals 432 over 10 squared. So y equals 432 divided by 100, which gives us 4.32. QED. Quite easily done. Find x when y equals 8. So this time we're going to work a little bit backwards. So we know y, so equals 432 over x squared. Again, I'm going to multiply both sides by x squared and move that off my denominator. Okay, so that gives me 8x squared equals 432. Divide both sides by 8. X squared equals 54. Square root both sides. And x equals 7.35. That didn't work very well, did it? Ta-da! Alright, so the last one I want to do is kind of more of a problem-solving question. And it takes inverse proportion and puts it in the quantity, or in the context of force and distance. So, the first thing we have here is that we know that force, so when we read it, we know the force between two objects is inversely proportional to the square of their distance. Okay? So that means that if I were to write it, I would have force is proportional to 1 over d squared, or F equals k over d squared. Okay? And from there, I can then plug in my values to find out what my k value is. So, I know force equals 0.24 newtons when I have k over 15 squared. So I end up with 0.24 equals k over k over 225 going to multiply both sides by 225. Okay, that leaves me with a k value of 54. Now, I'm not quite done because now I need to plug in a distance of 30 miles. So, F equals 54 over 30 squared, which gives us an answer of 0.06 newtons. So if you look at the mark scheme for this question, I'm just going to change colors for a second. Let's do a little pink. So, first mark is right here, this statement. So that because I have an inverse relationship, I can plug in and find k. Then it's finding your k value, that's your second point, and then your third point is finding this value here. So that's how you get those 3 marks. Now, with this last one, it's 1 mark, all we're doing is plugging and chugging, which is just my ridiculous way of saying you're plugging in values. So, I have 0.4 equals 54 over d squared. I'm going to multiply both sides by d squared, move it over to the other side. So I have 0.4 d squared, that didn't work, equals 54. Okay, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.4, get an answer of d squared equals 135. Okay, and then to find my distance, I'm going to square root both sides, and I get an answer of d equals 11.62 miles, or 11.6 miles. There we go. So I hope that's helped with direct and indirect proportion, and I will try to record some more videos for you guys. Bye.